Howdy y'all, this is Dwight and welcome back to part 9 on how I make a basic slip joint pocket knife. In this video I'm going to attempt to show how I go about putting in the swedge and bevels and creating clearance in this area so as it don't rub against my liners, since I am not doing mill relieved liners. First thing I'm got going on is we're at my granite surface plate and my height gauge. I'm going to make sure I'm still zeroed out, so we're good there. And I'm just going to use a blue Sharpie, and the first thing I'm going to do is grind in my swedge. So I'm going to put Sharpie along the edge. Okay, and then I am going to measure the height of my blade. Okay, we're at 110 thousandths, I guess would be how you would say that. So I'm going to come off of it and lower this down. I don't necessarily want, if I come down to 50, that means, if I'm understanding correctly, I'm terrible with measurements, so please forgive me on this, that I would have 10 thousandths of a gap between my scribe lines. So I'm going to bring it up just a couple more thousandths. That way it ain't quite 10 thousandths. And then I will proceed to see what those look like. Hopefully you can see halfway decent. And I go both ways, and I like to support this just to help keep pressure off that area. Okay, yeah, that looks good to me. And that, I don't know if that'll focus halfway decent, but that's really close together. It's less than 10 thousandths. I like them thin. So we'll go over to the belt grinder. First, I will show you how I set my Ameribraid belt grinder up. As you can see, I've laid the flat platen down. That way I can make use of this rubber contact wheel. And to set my rest at the angle I want, I made this little cardboard guide at the general angle I like. So I just come on the back side, put one angle on this piece, and then I line the far end down the square tubing that's holding my rest. That way I can get right at the same angle every time. So I'm going to start off with a 120 grit belt, and I will be back whenever I have that on. I now have my grinder laid down in the horizontal position, my 120 grit belt. I want to do my best to show you what I'm doing. Of course, my LED sewing machine light with a magnetic base. One thing I will mention is I don't have my rest even with the belt. I have it slightly this way. So anyhow, I have my blade. I'm going to turn it on and we'll get going. Okay, and this is how this side looks. Now when I grind in my bevels, that will bring the tip to a point just like it is here at the spine. So I'm going to bring this up to a 400 grit belt finish, and I of course will do the other side as well. Now that is how I grind in my swedges. Okay, I have the swedges in, and hopefully, as you can see, that false edge is nice and thin. That's a 400 grit belt finish. I like doing that just so there's a little bit of contrast between the swedge finish and the bevel finish. Now we will be scribing the lines along the cutting edge for the bevels. Again, I throw a little bit of Sharpie on there, and I have left this the same. Of course, I've locked it down, so we will scribe our lines again. There we go. I'm going to attempt to show you how I create my clearance here without having to mill relieve my liners. I am using a 120 grit belt. Of course, I have my center line along my cutting edge, but on the 120 grit belt I'm going to be taking material off right in here and raising it up. I don't have any scribe lines other than my cutting edge, and all I'm doing is using my hands and fingers to hold the blade. I will do a little bit in this view, and I will attempt to do a view on the back side here as well. That way maybe you can see what's going on the back side of the blade here. So let's get started. And it's as simple as that. Of course, that's 120 grit. I will go over that with a 400 grit. I will change camera angle. I think I showed that decent. But I will show it from the back side as well. Maybe that will help. I don't know. But I'll set the camera up again. Okay, I have a 400 grit belt finish on both sides now. As you can see, It is thinner there now compared to the pivot part of the tang. This is where I'm going to need to stop this video. I am getting to my storage limit. So in the next video, I will be showing how I go about grinding in my bevels. I do thank everyone for following along on this series, and until the next video, y'all take care.